That morning I was thinking about Chinese food. It was noon, and beef and broccoli was on my mind. That's when the call came in. I remember it was a hot summer day shift. My partner and I had been split into one-man cars, the usual departmental stuff to make day shift look bigger than it really was. We had plans for lunch. My stomach was already growling. The call sounded routine. Neighbor complaining about a loud noise next door. The kind of call that almost always turns out to be nothing. This one wasn't nothing. By the time the first unit got there, the noise had been identified as gunshots. That changes things. Moments later, my squad mate was on foot chasing a shirtless dude with a shotgun down a back alley. Suspect opened fire on him and forced him to back off. I heard all this on the radio. I heard my partner go in there to back it up, so I headed there myself. By the time I got in the location, I saw the suspect dart out of an alley, running south. He looked at me, aimed the gun at my windshield, I guess thought better of it, and took off running. So, I parked the car, jumped out, or attempted to, because I'd forgotten to remove my seatbelt. A mistake I vowed never to make again, getting close to a scene. Left the car door wide open, and they took off after him. Somewhere in the middle of that going on, I remember thinking about the coffee cups and the wrappers that I left in the passenger seat from the morning. Thinking that if I didn't make it back and someone had to go collect my car, they were just going to remember me as being a slob. Adrenaline does strange things. You don't get to choose what surfaces in the moment. Anyway, by the time I cut up to him, we were running into a schoolyard, and behind him I could see children playing everywhere. I didn't know it at the time, but it was track and field day. The entire school was outside, and that single image changed everything about what I was and was not willing to do in those next 60 seconds. The chatter on the portable radio was ridiculous. Worse yet, it was letting him hear me close the distance on him. So I turned it off, and I was on my own. He was turning and firing at me, but it was wild and desperate. The shots were going in the air, and I wasn't going to make the same mistake. But I couldn't put a round on target because the kid's behind him, so I had to close the distance, and I knew I had to close the distance. A stray round from my weapon wasn't going to help anyone. I linked up with a dog handler, and I thought this might be the solution. He had a Rottweiler named Caesar with him. Caesar was 6 years old, a good companion. One of the best police dogs that I've ever had the privilege to work with. We got close. He was distracted, looking a different way. The dog was released, and I thought we had it right to the last minute when he turned around and fired point blank at the dog. Caesar went down with this sickening yelp, and I don't really remember much after that other than putting rounds on him and dropping him. My partner, who had been coming in from the side, also dropped him with a shotgun blast. So we put him down pretty good. That's how I start off my book, Badge to Boardroom. It's a story that I think encompasses most of the leadership principles that I was going to learn throughout my life from that point forward. In fact, I was already learning them long before that. I had many years on the job by the time that happened. So it encompasses that, and it's a good story because everything's at play at that point in what I've now come to talk about as my forge pillars: the foundation, the ownership, the resilience, the guidance, and the execution that I put towards every problem that comes my way. Anyway, I'm going to go into it in a lot more detail in my upcoming book. I hope you'll stay tuned to my YouTube channel. I'm also just starting out on Facebook and Instagram, and also over on X. If you want to follow for more content, I'm there. Badge to Boardroom will be released on September 1st on Kindle. And I hope you enjoy it, and I hope it can make a difference to guys out there that are getting older and struggling with the fade that might come along with age. Thanks for tuning in.